Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about a topic that I've seen covered slightly through CBC a while back, but I haven't seen any updates since. It involves the Rcmp filing a class action lawsuit against themselves. It's quite interesting, so let's get right to the article and we can read it and go through it and see what it's about and what it's for, and then we can discuss it a little bit further after we understand what it's all about.
Alright guys, so here's the publication that the Rcmp put out for themselves on canada.ca. So this explains all of the allegations and what the class action lawsuit's for. This was published on September 20th, 2022. It'll say that a little bit further down. So it says the nature of this class action. This class action seeks damages and other relief as a result of the alleged failure by the Rcmp to take reasonable measures in the operation or management of the force to provide the class as defined below. So we'll get into what the class, so who the class is. In a class action lawsuit, you have the class and what action they're taking. As defined below, with a work environment free from bullying, intimidation, and harassment. And those are key things to remember, that the Rcmp itself is suing itself for bullying, intimidation, and harassment. So the plaintiff claims that the defendant is His Majesty the King is vicariously liable, and the scope of the claim includes the Rcmp's alleged failure to provide a workplace free from sexual harassment of individuals of any gender, as well as general harassment and harassment based on any grounds, including racial, ethnic, and religious, except for gender-based harassment and discrimination matters covered under Merlo-Davidson, I guess, which is a federal court action. So the certification of this order was on September 20th, 2022, and it was ordered by a federal court. This is class action and appointed Jeffrey Greenwood of Red Deer, Alberta, and Todd Gray of Airdrie, Alberta as the representative plaintiffs. The court also appointed Kim Spencer McPhee, barrister PC, as class counsel. So the allegations made by the plaintiff have not been proven in court. The court has made no determination of the merits of the plaintiff's claims, yada, yada, yada. They're just covering their bums, saying that they're innocent until proven guilty. And it says the class, so these are the individuals that are applicable in this class action lawsuit, are all current or former Rcmp members, i.e. regular, civilian, and special constable members, and reservists who worked for the Rcmp between January 1st and 1995, and the date a collective agreement becomes or became applicable to a bargaining unit to which they belong. So let's just take a pause here. So remember what this was about sexual harassment, bullying, intimidation. It's been going on since 1995. Let's continue on here. So now it talks about if you want to participate in the class action, you'll automatically be included. So literally every single officer that doesn't opt out will be included as long as they were employed between September 22nd or 20th, 2022 and in 1995. And it says if you have an ongoing lawsuit with respect to bullying, intimidation, or harassment in the Rcmp and you wish to participate in the class action, you must discontinue your lawsuit before 5 p.m. Eastern Time on November 23rd, 2022. And if you do not, you will be deemed by that federal court rule, if you want to read it out for yourself, you can, to have opted out of this class action. And you should contact your lawyer to discuss your options. And it talks about some financial consequences and who you would need to send your information to and more information, and that's basically it.
So now that we've gone through the allegations of that class action lawsuit, I think you'll understand why I think that this topic is kind of important and maybe needs a little bit more attention than it's receiving, because previously all I've seen is one article from CBC. It was a couple days after this initial publication was made that we just looked at. It's troubling to me because if the officers that we trust in doing the right thing with the public and treating the public in the correct way, if they're not able to treat each other that way, how do we expect them to treat us any better? especially when most officers, with respect to a lot of people's opinions, treat individuals and citizens as below them, that they're better than them, that they're more higher up in a higher status. Their power is something that we need to respect. So to think that these individuals who clearly have been doing this for years and years and years unchecked would go out of their way to treat a civilian better than their coworker, who we've clearly seen has a certain brotherhood or, you know, a family aspect to it, where they respect and they would protect their partners or other officers in the department before any civilian. And we've seen that, you know, in the United States, as well as in Canada, as well as, you know, abroad in the UK or Australia. And when we talk about governmental corruption, do we really expect them to do any better for us than they would do for themselves? Absolutely not. They treat us like garbage. So if they're doing these things en masse, enough that there's a class action lawsuit that goes all the way back to 1995 for bullying, harassment, intimidation, which are all the things that they do on a regular basis to citizens. Why is it so hard for them to admit that they do it to us? If they can internally make memos to say, hey, this is what's happening, our members, past and present, currently active or inactive, are making allegations against superiors and individuals who had authority in our organization, who committed crimes throughout the years and were left unchecked. How do we expect them to do us any better service? It's an atrocity, and at the end of the day, this lawsuit could cost the taxpayers of Canada millions and millions and millions, potentially billions of dollars. And at a time where our economy is hard enough to live, where the cost of living is going up, the cost of fuel has gone up, the cost of food has gone up, that's an unacceptable bill that we need to pay, that we're required to pay. We're not asked about it. We've elected these individuals into power who give these organizations their power and fund them through tax dollars, and they are the ones that decide where the money goes, but we have to pay it, and our taxes reflect those spendings. So if you guys want to chime into the comments, that'd be awesome, and let me know what you guys think about this. I think that there needs to be something done about this, that the individuals that are accused of it need to be held personally liable in some way, instead of holding the taxpayers liable for the damages, because that's all it seems to be doing when we talk about paying for their mistakes, or taking money for lawsuits out of provincial or federal coffers. I think that we need to take a better approach to mediate the damage that is continuously doing to our communities, because it didn't only affect the Rcmp internally, it's going to affect all of our communities financially. So if you guys have any comments or concerns, or like to just chime in and have a conversation about that would be great. If you guys like this sort of content, or this little bit of a change, I understand I'm not really out doing an audit. I'm kind of doing more of a reporting style video here. Let me know down in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe, and remember to hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future content. Thanks for coming, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.